Welcome to my research project. My project covers a topic that I have often been interested in, which is whether negative media coverage affects and influences a potential voter's attitude towards a particular candidate. This presentation will delve into that. On this slide is my research idea for this project. From there, I came up with a testable hypothesis. My hypothesis states that as negative coverage increases, the negative coverage influences potential voters and their opinions of a candidate, leading to negative perceptions of the candidate. This then affects the likelihood that voters will vote for the candidate. Continuing on from the previous slide for this experiment, the independent variable is negative media coverage. The dependent variable is voters' attitudes toward the candidate. The mediating variables are the political affiliations of the voters, and the control is facts about the fictional candidate. After I figured out my research idea, hypothesis, and any important variables for my experiment, I selected the platform I was going to use to sample people and recruited my population. I decided to use, you probably guessed it, social media. Everyone is on it, and it's an easy way to interact with people. My population for my experiment included family members, co-workers, and fellow college students here at SEMO. The next step was to create all three of my surveys using Google Forms. For ethical purposes, I created a title and introduction that explained to the respondents what this survey was about and what it would entail. Then I created two different scenarios for each survey, one with positive framing of the candidate, the other with negative framing of the candidate, and the last one with strictly facts about the candidate. I asked the same questions on all three surveys. Two of the questions were on a scale level using semantic differentials and measuring their likelihood to vote for the candidate, and a question about their political affiliation. Two questions were asked about their ethnicity and education level using multiple choice options. When I was done creating the surveys, I distributed them to people of all ages, ethnicities, political affiliations, and education levels. I waited 10 days for the final results. In total, I received at least 30 responses per survey. After I conducted enough data from my surveys, I transferred the data into an Excel document. I used intercoding reliability for each condition, likelihood they were to vote for the candidate, and for demographic details. I then conducted data analysis, or an ANOVA test, using the coding from my surveys. The results showed that the data did not support my hypothesis. Framing of a candidate was not a major factor in whether respondents were likely to vote for the candidate. However, education level was an important factor, meaning that the higher the education level the respondent had, the more likely they were to vote for the candidate in the survey. While I was conducting my experiment, I selected 3 peer-reviewed articles that related to my overall project using Google Scholar. On this page is a list of articles I used to research the topics of my project and corroborate my hypothesis.